A lot has changed this past year, but one thing hasn't. Consumers still love their pizza. As you pivot to meet the new challenges of food service, Ardent Mills can work with you to tap into that love and make your crust the best it can be. After all, we're more than a leading source of trusted flour brands, mixes, and custom solutions. We're a resource for pizza operators like you. We're ready to support you with high-performing pizza flours, blend and mixes, unparalleled technical expertise, R&D innovation, and long-term contract pricing. And today, as always, we're here to help you grow and thrive. We invite you to check out the Pizza Hub to learn more and request a sample.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Checking In With. This is the series where we talk one-on-one, well, two-on-one here with pizzeria owners all around the country. Today we're happen to be talking to somebody that's local, but we're with Jeremy White, our editor-in-chief. Hey Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. All right. And this pizzeria owner happens to be so local that we can drive to them within an hour and a half or so. We're on the line with Randy Hobson from Pangea Kitchen there in Evansville, Indiana. How's it going, Randy?
Good morning. It's doing great.
Good morning. So right off the bat, I want to let everybody know we actually did an article on Pangea Kitchen, and the cool thing about Pangea is it's kind of that piazza atmosphere there in the restaurant. So how's business been? Having that big open concept, and kind of where are you going?
Well, we just finished our 5th year, the 1st of March. And
congratulations, 5 years is big.
Yes, in this business it certainly is, but I feel like our business has really matured, and we've just been extremely fortunate to have a great staff that's been with us from day one, and we're having a great time at what we're doing, and knock on wood, obviously this past year was extremely challenging. Our business model changed a lot, but in Indiana, the restrictions were probably not as severe as some other parts of the world. We were down for 7 weeks last year, but we came back very strong. Our business changed from a lot, moved to carry out, no private events, to, very fast-paced carry-out business with some dine-in. And then, as things opened up, the business has just grown dramatically. This first quarter of the year has been spectacular, to be honest. We've been able to hold that carry out volume, and now we have a lot of dine-in clients, and the business has changed a bit, because we used to do a lot of private events and private dining and things that were very high ticket. It's more singles and doubles right now, but we're very fortunate and having a blast with what we're doing. I think people now understand what Neapolitan pizza is in Evansville, Indiana, which some people watching this probably find that hard to believe, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
The Detroit-style pizza, which we introduced about 4 years ago, it's been very, very well received, and we're working real hard. We really like Roman style. That's kind of our next thing that we really want to do. Probably in a little more Americanized version. I've been studying Banchi and some of the other folks that have come in.
Yeah.
And I just think we've got to make it a little more approachable, at least in our market. And I think we got some great ideas around it. And our pizza team has created some product that I'm really jacked about. So we're still in love with pizza, and want to do a lot more as we go forward. But there's also a lot of other things we're doing that really keep us engaged and create a lot of synergies between products.
Absolutely.
That's outstanding. Yeah, I feel like that you must be an overly ambitious human being, because this idea of Pangea in general. If I remember correctly from my middle school world history days, I believe Pangea refers to when all the land on the earth was in one large mass, and I believe that the idea behind that then is that one food, not, there is no Asian cuisine, there is no Italian cuisine, there is no American or South American. It's just, we will pull various food items from all around the world. And I don't know how you pull that off with equipment, with staffing, training your staff to be able to execute. I just don't think that could be an easy thing. Hence your ambition.
Well, it hasn't been easy. No question about it. Just the simple fact that we're running a Neapolitan line and a Detroit line, and a Neapolitan bake is 80 seconds and a Detroit is 16 minutes. And, the good news is our customers love the fact that they can come in and get 2 varieties of pizza, or they can add a drunken noodles or a pad kee mao,
those drunken noodles were really good too, by the way.
Yeah. And people love to eat that way. And we really embraced that. Had a lot of head scratchers in the beginning, but I just feel like, the world continues to shrink. People are so educated, especially the young kids these days. They come into our restaurant and, they'll order cow soy. And I'm like, where did that come from? It's street food in northern Thailand, and these young kids are educated. And so it's really exciting. And I think you said it right, Jeremy. Food is, it's the second language, and that's kind of a corny lead into our the next restaurant we just developed is called Second Language. But food speaks to everybody universally. Mm-hmm. There are no barriers, and my passion has always been food, but it's also been the cultures that surround those foods, and learning about those people and the way they eat and how they eat, and the traditions of Sunday afternoons, whether that's in an Italian household or a Hispanic household or Latino. Those are the things that just make me, I don't know, makes me tick.
What was your original inspiration to pair such diverse foods under one roof? And then second part, because I'm an Indiana boy, born and raised in Southern Indiana, what made you think it would work in Southern Indiana? Obviously it has, but what made you think it would work in Southern Indiana?
Oh, goodness. Well, the inspiration, to be honest, I just felt like Thai food in particular, and Asian food, Southeast Asian and Italian foods are all about sharing, and it's just the culture is, it's a huge part of their cultures. So those were the two things, the elements that really were like the baseline. But why did we bring it together? The honest answer is we knew we wanted to need Neapolitan, and we thought we wanted to do some version of a deep dish style to offer, the two really opposite ends of the pizza world. We met an incredibly talented chef from Thailand, and all of a sudden, I was like, you know what, when you go to Chelsea Market in New York City and you're eating as a family or you're eating with a bunch of friends, I go to those places and I just watch the way people act and interact. And you look at the table and there's diversity of food at those tables. And I'm like, you know what the hell, let's give this a try.
Yeah.
To answer the second part of that question, I'm a true Southern Indiana redneck. I mean, I'm hardcore redneck, and I'll never deny that. But sorry. I had a chance in my prior life in corporate America to travel all over the world. Had my first Neapolitan pizza experience probably 15 years ago in Phoenix. And I saw these things happening in big cities. I saw them happening in progressive cities like Asheville, North Carolina. You just see things happening in those cities, and I'm like, how are we going to retain and make Evansville, Indiana a better place that's going to retain young people, young professionals? And I'm selfishly doing that because I have 3 kids that I would love to have them stick around Southern Indiana. Yeah. I got one of the 3, the other 2 are out doing their thing. But in my corporate life, we spend a lot of time trying to train people and bring them to Evansville, Indiana. And, beyond the typical questions of, hey, tell me about the housing market, tell me about healthcare, tell me about schools. Pretty soon it would be like, well, tell me about the food culture in this city. And back in those days,
Tough
when I'm
sell.
trying to recruit somebody, my joke was, hey, you know what? We have the highest grossing Olive Garden in North America right here in Evansville. That was my line. We have every chain under the sun, but I wanted to change that. And this is my give back to create a better food culture in this city. And my mission in 10 years, my happiness will be when my team is knocking them dead with cool stuff, giving them a skill set that they can go out and create a cool business 10 years from now. That's going to create a better food culture in this city. So that's a lot of information, but that's my passion.
Yeah. Hey,
Denise,
Jeremy.
there's no doubt that Evansville's dining scene is far better off thanks to the presence of Pangea.
Yeah.
Well,
And you know what, Jeremy, you haven't been to his location, but his location is in a nondescript commercial center. It's kind of off to the side. So, Randy, one of the things that I love is, you're able to build up this huge clientele, in a location. It is off of really busy streets. How are you able to bring them into the spot, or, get that carry out business?
Yeah. I think, consistency and uniqueness and all the standards, but I give a lot of credit to our digital marketing team. We spend a ton of money on photography, and, the gentleman that does our photography is just about as ate up and as passionate about food photography as I am with food.
Oh, yeah.
And he does incredible work, and it just speaks, people I don't read. I look at pictures anymore. It's sickening, but I'm not. So I think getting that, and then just the word of mouth, you can advertise all you want, but it's a small enough town that it gets around. And there's people that will say, I don't need anything but a cracker crust pizza, because there's 35 of them in Evansville,
Right.
and you're never going to convert them. But we always figured if we could there's 30% of people that would walk in and know exactly what we were doing. They traveled the world. There's probably 25 to 30 that would walk in and embrace it. And then there's probably, the rest that are either going to be lukewarm or just, heck no, this is not for me.
Like, why are those black spots on my pizza?
Yeah. It's burnt. Charred.
So how do the Neapolitan pizza sales compared to the Detroit-style pizza sales stack up? I would go out on a limb and just guess that more people ordered Detroit in Evansville, but maybe I'm dead wrong about that.
You know what? It's about the same from a revenue standpoint. The Neapolitan's a little bit more mature because we had it from the beginning. And we've got people that literally would come in, and I was having a conversation with a customer last night, and they said, I've been here, I don't know, however many times, but I only ordered the pistachio Neapolitan style pizza.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
don't even try anything. I'm like, come on, let's move on. But so I think there's a lot of people that were the early adopters of the Neapolitan that just don't move because they are kind of set in their ways. My mother would have been that person, she would have, if she found something she loved, she would never change, that was just the way she was raised. And that's a little bit of the Southern Indiana culture, but surprisingly, I'd say it's about half right now.
Yeah. We are creatures of habit, right, Denise? I mean, if you find a product that you fall in love with, there could be 80 other menu items that you just never sample because you keep going back to the tried and true.
I'm a creature of habit. I'm going to tell you that right now. Something I'm curious about, because, as you walk into your place, you have the Detroit line, you have the Neapolitan line, you have your grill line, you have your Thai line, and then over on this side you had your bakery, pastry shop, and gelato and coffee bar. I'm curious about how your sales, the percentage that goes to each of those things, especially in a small community, because I think other operators probably are like, I'd love to introduce this, but would macaroons sell in my restaurant? They think like that. So, how are those breakdowns between those?
Yeah, these are a little bit swags, but I would say that our we call it our gelateria, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically the gelato, the macarons, the pastries we do in house. It's probably in the called about 15 to 20% range. The Asian concept is probably about 35 to 40, and that includes a few other things like we make our own burrata in house, for example. That's kind of lumped in there, and then pizza's the rest. And we added a bar side. That was probably one of the smartest moves we made. We opened with that open area, call it more like a market. A lot of inspiration from Italy, honestly. That was one of the ones that we studied Italy a lot, where you see the pasta being made, you see the cheese being made, gelato being made. But there was this unmet need of people that said, man, I want to sit down. I want to have somebody wait on me. I want a little bit different vibe. And then we created the bar side, which is a much more stepped up service area, open at 4.
And it's more intimate over there.
Very.
Yeah.
And then behind that, we created a private dining area, which basically, you can reserve that space and you can drink beer and eat pizza, or you can do a 6-course meal back there, that our chef creates. Very custom, very like aggressive cuisine. And it just took us to a different level, where people would come to Evansville, and I'm going to brag a little bit, but like hospitals are recruiting these young doctors from all over the world, and they like to bring them to Pangea and camp in the back room, let us cook for them, make them feel like they're in a big city, make them feel like they're at home. Maybe they're from Thailand, maybe they're from China, whatever. But also not get too full of ourselves, not take it too damn serious, but make it about the food and not about where that fork was placed, or I don't know, you know what I mean. I think you get my vibe when you were at the restaurant. So anyhow, I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Oh, that definitely answered it. It's amazing. I think you're a busy dude, so we'll kind of wrap this up too. But where are you going to next? What's next for your concept? Because I know that you're always looking at the future and looking at the development of where you're going. So especially as we come out of what's been a very turbulent year for the restaurant industry, what's next for you guys?
Well, we're committed to a space downtown, just a total opposite of the original Pangea. We found an old Nabisco factory, was built in 1895. Worked with a gentleman, architectural renovators, who does incredible work bringing this building back to life. They own the building. They're managing apartments there. And then a 2-step approach. We'll have the patisserie bakery, and then we'll have a ramen concept. Pizza related, I'm pretty bullish on doing something with Roman style in Evansville.
Excited for that.
Yeah, and I think, possibly doing some other things with Detroit. We're very interested in some of the new oven technologies out there. Now that we're in the bakery business, we're kind of seeing both sides of it, where, some of the equipment out there that can get high temperatures on a deck system, run multiple decks at multiple temperatures, gives us ability. And as you guys know, we like to offer more than one thing. And I think there's some really interesting opportunities in the pizza space to do multiple concepts in a relatively small footprint. So I would say that's our next step pizza wise. And time will tell, but we're feeling really good about things in Evansville. Like I mentioned earlier, this state has opened up quickly. Evansville's opened up quickly, and we made it through a tough year. I have to say that the government has been very good to us. Just to be honest, we took full advantage of the PPP programs,
Mm-hmm.
many incentives out there to help us get through this thing, help our employees be strong, and we're pretty darn optimistic. So stay tuned. Nothing
Sure.
firm yet, other than the downtown and the bakery. That's happening. So our next thing is to bring the ramen side up, which is probably in June, and then after that we'll see. Once we digest that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we'll be ready to see what happens with that Roman style too, because
Mhm.
we definitely see a lot of action on that side of things. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much, Randy, for
You're
popping on
welcome,
and
guys.
talking to us. We can't wait to see what's next for you guys, and hopefully, maybe we'll see you in Vegas
Hey,
in
that would be
August.
awesome. I would love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. All the
All
best.
Thank you, Randy. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Guys.
Bye.